Rolling.
You guys, I love traveling. There's really no place I wouldn't go. And if you're lucky enough to get to travel too, you know that visiting foreign countries can be cool because you get to meet new people, eat new foods, and learn about the world in ways you never could staying at home. But traveling internationally requires one of these. And in today's world, which passport you hold dictates a lot of where you can and cannot go. I'm Mateo, and this is Zoetic. Today, we're looking at a few countries Americans have the most trouble getting into. So not all passports are created equal. Some are weak in terms of access to other countries, and some are strong. The American passport is tied for 4th most powerful in the world. Woo woo! We're tied for 4th place. It's not great, but it's not the worst. Sure, it ranks behind other tied countries like Germany, Sweden, Italy, France, Finland, Spain, and the UK, but what it lacks in access, it makes up for in fierceness. Seriously, have you guys checked this thing out lately? It has eagles and bears. Eagles and bears on its pages. You think Germany has sweet majestic predators on their passport pages? Nope. I'm thinking it's just like pictures of Volkswagens and bratwurst and a bunch of World Cup trophies. And don't get me started on Sweden. Their passport pages are just confusing IKEA instructions. But back to that ferocious American passport, if you have one, it'll get you into 174 countries without a visa. Pretty impressive compared to, say, an Afghan or Pakistani passport, which each grant access to less than 30 countries. No visa requirements means you can just kind of show up at the border and be all like, knock knock Italy, I'm here to eat all your gelato, which makes international travel much easier. There are no countries where it's illegal for Americans to travel to, but despite all its perks, there are countries where Americans can't really go without a lot of extra headaches and money, like North Korea. To travel to North Korea, you have to book a pre-planned tour that won't feature much privacy. 2 guides have to accompany you everywhere you go for the duration of your stay. The US State Department warns against visiting due to, quote, the serious risk of arrest and long-term detention. If you go, you'll get a glimpse of life under true authoritarian rule. But traveling in North Korea can be a delicate endeavor. The State Department says you can face intense interrogation and imprisonment in a forced labor camp just for taking pictures. You can also get locked up for shopping at stores not specifically designated for foreigners or having an unauthorized interaction with the local population. And there's no embassy in North Korea, so if you do get into trouble, it can be tough to get out. So be careful snapping selfies over there. Saudi Arabia doesn't exactly roll out the welcome mat for Americans either. Turns out one of the United States' friendliest Middle East allies can actually be pretty difficult for many Americans to access. To get in, you're going to need a visa in advance, which in this case can cost hundreds and take months to get. If you're able to get a visa, you'll want to remember that men and women can only travel together if they can prove they're married. And if you're a female under 30, you must travel with the group unless you're accompanied by your husband or brother. Saudi Arabia admits millions of foreigners every year, mostly to make Hajj, the Muslim pilgrimage to Mecca, so it's not impossible to visit. But if your passport has an Israeli stamp, authorities may not let you in. And while the US State Department has issued multiple travel warnings for Saudi Arabia, citing threats to Westerners and ISIS-related attacks, visiting this place looks like it could be worth the bureaucratic headaches. I would go there in a heartbeat. Bhutan is another difficult country to visit, and not just for Americans. It's got some of the tightest borders in the world and requires pre-approved visas for travelers from nearly every country. For Americans, you're going to have to book and pay for your entire trip in advance. Traveling in Bhutan will cost you hundreds per day. But word is, it's worth it. Cliffside Buddhist temples like the Tiger's Nest are among the many reasons to visit. But plan on being accompanied by a guide everywhere you go. So where are you headed? If you're traveling somewhere that you think may be dangerous, you can check out the State Department travel alerts and warnings by hitting up their website. But remember, just because there's a travel warning doesn't mean you can't go. Safe travels, my friends. I've been stranded in Mexico, having to hitchhike on a highway and almost got hit by a truck. But what about you? Have you had a difficult travel experience? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to click subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.